Hi families, let's take a tour of our classroom. Every morning beginning at 7:55, I will be here at this gate to meet you. This is where I'll sign your child in, you'll say your goodbyes, and we'll start our school day. Now, if it were a rainy day or a day where it's too cold for us to be outside, I'll have you meet me at door 10, which I'll show you in a minute. So let me just point out our playground for you real quick. When you're a big kid, you get to use the big playground, but for GSRP, we have our own playground equipment. So we have the opportunity to use this playground equipment. We have a shed full of bicycles and toys, and then we have our blacktop that we can utilize. Right here is our classroom door. It's door number 10. When we line up to come inside in the morning, this is a time where we're going to need our mask. We're going to be close together. We're going to be walking over to our cubbies to unpack, so we're going to need a mask. I'm going to put my mask on for a minute. I'll flip my sunglasses up and I'll show you our cubbies. Welcome to our classroom. Over here, the kids will be able to find their cubbies by their letter link, so they'll see their name and their picture. Some kids might have a tote under the cubbies so that we can make sure that no one is sharing space. Another way that we're trying to keep everyone safe this year. After we've unpacked for the day, I've still got my mask on because I'm over here close by to my other friends. I'm gonna walk over to our sink, get my hands washed, get ready for breakfast. Once I'm seated at my table, and you can see that our small group tables will be in 2 small groups this year. Our small group tables, we have the kids spaced out, which will allow them to take their masks off. So I'm gonna take my mask off for the rest of this time. When we go out, this is the doorway to our hallway, and you'll see, wear a mask. That's a time where we're gonna need a mask if we have to go out into our hallway. But I'm gonna take my mask off for the rest of this time. This is our art area. We have our drying rack. We have lots of art materials for the kids to use, and we'll be spending a lot of time the first few days of school talking about how to safely use the materials. We have lots of paper, art supplies. Every one of our areas are labeled with a sign that's easy for the kids to understand where they're at. It has a symbol and the print. Another way that we're working at keeping the kids safe this year is limiting shared supplies. Each child has their own supply bin. It's labeled with their letter link. Inside, they've got all those things, those pieces that we don't want them sharing. Crayons, scissors, colored pencils, pens, markers. So each child has one of those that they'll be able to use around the room during choice time, small groups, etc. Over here, we have our book area. Another thing that we're doing this year for safety is each child has their own book bin. That way they're not sharing books. Those books will change every week, so they're getting new books to look at every week. In the book bins, they also have their journals. We'll use these journals throughout the day to encourage writing. They'll use them at small group. They'll take them around to choice time. They'll use them in the afternoons. So you'll get to see, while you're not going to see worksheets coming home, you will be able, I'll send pictures of all their writing that they're doing. All right, over here is our block area. You'll notice that every interest area has a bin that says needs to be cleaned. If one of the kids uses this hat, when they're done with the hat, it's gonna go in the bin. It gives Mrs. Shirk and I an opportunity to sanitize it before it goes back out. So you'll see those in every area. Thank you. Mrs. Shirk is giving me great reminders, guys. So, variety of building supplies here, and we'll add to it as the year goes. Over here, we have our safe place, and we'll talk about this our first day of school. But as we are learning how to come to school and how we behave at school, how we interact at school, we also have to deal with how to handle our feelings. And sometimes we need a place to go where we can handle our feelings and deal with them. And we'll talk a lot together, teacher to parent, about the safe place, how you can utilize one in your home. Right here is our board for our family board that we've talked about. All those pictures that you've sent me, I'm gonna get printed and we'll have those up so that the kids have a beautiful reminder of all the people that love them at home. Over here is our large group area. And it's a big area this year so that we can safely distance. Again, we've already talked about those hula hoops, being in our bubble, spacing out. We'll utilize those a lot during large group time. Here you can see our schedule for the day, the order of things. We'll start outside, breakfast, we'll come over to the large group. We'll have a small group lesson. Then we'll have an hour of work time. Then we'll go into lunch, circle time or large group. Then we'll have rest. We'll have another work time in the afternoon that looks a little different, and I'll share more information with you later on. Then we'll go into snack and back outside for dismissal. Here's our other small group area. Again, we have opportunity to space the kids out. One of the activities that we'll do in the afternoons, this won't be available to the kids in the morning just for safety reasons. We do woodworking. The kids get to work with real tools. They get to take things apart, put things together. We like to make sure that they have really good adult supervision during that time. So it's a great activity. It's a great interest area that we'll get out in the afternoon. Over here is our house area. It's exploring our world, cash registers, food, baby dolls, pretend materials. So we have that area, and then we have our toy area. So just a variety of things that we're exploring right now. For example, we've got some ramps and the farm is out, the balance, and we'll change those up. You'll see some of the toys are on the floor right now because we don't have our shelf yet, but there will be a shelf and the toys will be on them. Let's take a gander at the bathroom. So, if you were really here for open house, I would have you all go into the bathroom for a couple reasons. First of all, this is where we'll keep our extra clothes. Remember, you're gonna bring extra clothes to keep at school in case we have any accidents. They'll stay in here labeled with the kids' names on them. But I also want you to hear our toilet flush, because it's a loud toilet. It's much louder than your toilets at home. And so that can be a little scary. So let's just listen to the toilet flush. And if that worries you, don't worry. I will help you and I'll be with you when you flush the toilet, okay? All right, we have a lot of hand washing procedures posted, and we'll spend a lot of time these first few days talking about what it looks like to stay safe and to stay healthy so that we can stay in school. If you have any questions that come up after watching this, please reach out to me. We are so excited to have your little one in class. Have a great evening.